So hello guys, my name is Shayon. You are watching Smiths, and in this video I am going to demonstrate how pivoting works and like something like port forwarding, and also there's a lot of fun things waiting for you. So just be around with me and I'll explain all of this concept, and all of that is going to be very clear, actually like crystal clear or something like that. And if you hear any noises like dogs barking, so please ignore it, because this is around 12:30 in the night and this is the only time I can record videos, so please ignore that. Okay, so here we have a Kali machine, and if I see IP ifconfig, let's do less. So I have like this is my IP W1 that is my home router. So 51.75, that is my IP, and I have a virtual machine setup, that is a mint machine, this mint machine, and this is my username Satan, the most dreadful username in the world. So okay, so I have this machine set up in bridged mode. That is why ENPS03 this have a 51.41 IP. So it's set up in bridged mode, and also I have a Docker container running inside this Satan. So if I can I show you? Yes, I have to start it again. Okay, sudo start attach, and we are good to go. So I have here a simple Python program, so it is known as pivotserver.py. If I let's say cat pivotserver.py, so first of all shebang this imports, and this is the help message, and this part of code is just like helping this help message. Actually it's just making sure that argv1, that is the first argument, and or the second argument, if that is not present, the default IP address and default port will be this localhost and 1337, and this is a server basically. So here pivot server is listening. So here is normal socket, bind and listen. Then this is the loop, so we wait for a client, and when he connects we print, so accept connection, and we send to the client connection received message, and then we close the socket. So simply what we are doing is that if I let's say python3 pivotserver.py and I try to connect to it 172.17.0.2, okay, port 1337, was the error? Oh, okay, so it's basically running in the internal server, so I cannot connect to it directly. So for that I have to specify 00001337. so now I will be able to connect to it. So if I press enter, the connection breaks. So connection received and message is received, and then the connection breaks. So okay, this is a very simple program to check for pivoting, that I made, and this program in this Docker container, which if I show you, I've configured. So it has a address 72.17.0.2. so this is a this is a private IP address, so it's only accessible to this Mint machine, and no one outside this Mint machine can access this IP address directly. Okay, so we are attacker this in this Kali machine. Our job is to reach to this server, that is the pivot server. So there's a lot of methods of like doing pivoting, and port forwarding is one of the most common. So there are lots of tools you can use to forward ports. One of the most famous is SSH. So if I, let's say, so first of all, there is a lot of type of port forwarding. So one of them is local port forwarding. So 51.41, this is the IP address of this Mint machine, and then this -L states that we are we are using forward port forwarding, or forward SSH tunneling, or like local SSH tunneling, so whatever you say. And then this is the port 1337 colon and like 172.17.0.2 and 1337. So let me explain this very quick. So this part, this 1337 is the port which is opened in our Kali machine. This Kali machine, this port will be so this port will be opened in our Kali machine, and this is the address to which the packets will be redirected to. And actually what happens is that okay, let's make a change. Let's say that this I want to open my port 6000. So okay, so and I say -n, that means I don't want any shell. So I mention the password and it's running. So if I show you something, so in nmap localhost -p6000, so it's open. So if I try to netcat to it, localhost 6000, so we receive this message. So that means our pivoting is successful, but there is how it's done. The logic behind it works like this. So this 6000 is the port that is opened in our localhost. If I let's say show you netstart tuplin, so there is a connection that is it listens for the port 6000 on this localhost IP, that is the loopback address, which is not to be confused with this 0000. That means any interface, this is not to be confused with that. So they are both very very different. So and the port is 6000. So when I connect to localhost 6000, the traffic which I sent to the connection goes through this SSH tunnel, that is this is SSH connection, this connection to this machine on this machine, that is the Mint machine, and the Mint machine then routes the packet to this destination. That is the basically concept. So this destination is to be provided such that which can be routed by the SSH target. Okay, so this destination, if I say for example let's make it something like something which we can access but the server cannot. So I have config less docker 0l0 turn 0. So turn 0, we have turn 0. So that is a VPN connected. So 192.168.45.183 colon port, for example, that is our own Kali machine. So we like maybe open a port, so like Python 3 web server on our port 80. So maybe if this command works, that means this if we connect to our local port 6000, our traffic will come back to us on this VPN interface, that is a turn 0 interface on our port 80. That means this is the web server. So I know this command is not going to work, but still for the sake of showing you I am using it. So let's like use curl because we are dealing with web servers. So localhost colon 6000. So before that, let me show you something. So here okay, I didn't run that at all. So here a 6000 port should be opened, and now if I curl to localhost 6000, what do I get? I will get nothing. So like say connect timeout for 5 seconds. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. I don't know what's happening, but we are not able to connect. Simple reason is because this server does not know the destination, so does not know this destination, so it cannot route the packet or send the packet to this destination. So this destination should be something which this server can connect. That's how a local port forwarding or a forward SSH tunneling can work. So 157. So now again check that. So that's perfectly fine. And also I have to show you another thing. So here if I check pivot server.py, so we receive a connection from 172.017.0.1. that is our own Docker address. So what happens when we try to connect to this server? So this own Mint machine tries to connect to this server. So what happens that this server receives the IP address of this Mint machine and not the Kali machine. And this is very helpful when dealing with firewalls. So that is very helpful. And there is also this local port forwarding can also be done by something like Chisel. So Chisel is very powerful, which for me I mostly use for dynamic port forwarding, also known as SOX proxy. So I use it mostly for not mostly, only for SOX proxy, and for that it is very powerful, and it is supported by Windows, so it's extremely powerful. And but for like this normal port forwarding purposes, SSH is good, but I have a tool of my choice, which is the most powerful network tool you can ever imagine. So it's much more powerful than Netcat or Ncat or Poncat or something like that. It's very powerful, and the name of the program is a little bit secret. I will tell you later, I will reveal that later, but first let me showcase Chisel. So Chisel, and we will say server and reverse. So we are listening on our own host at port 8080, so that's good. And we have already this Chisel file here in our Linux. So Chisel client, the IP address of our Kali machine, that is 5175, and the Chisel listening port, that is 8080, and this R colon, which simply states that we are using the reverse mode. That means I will just show you in a moment. So like again 6000 port, then 172.17.02, and then port 1337. So Chisel client is hopefully connected. No, not connected. So there is maybe a error. Any error? Okay, so what we have done wrong is we have to use this syntax, and yes, so we have successfully connected. So that was my little error. So we have to use a colon, not instead of space. So okay, now if we see our local host port 6000, it is open, and like if I connect to localhost 6000, I have got this message that means pivoting is successful. So it's just very simple, just like that, very simple. So this is the port of our Kali machine, and this is the host and port which this mint machine will redirect the traffic to. And also I should show you another thing. This port forwarding can be also done like in non-reverse mode. For that we have to use Chisel server on this machine. And another thing is that this non-reverse mode is not recommended, because there is in real life situations there will be firewalls which will block your traffic, and that's why it's not recommended. So this is the syntax, and our that will be, our port will be 6000. Then we want to send it to 1702 and 1337. So connect it. So that works. So here what happens is that again we open this port on our Kali machine, and this is the IPN port which is to be forwarded by this machine. So this is how Chisel works. Very good and powerful. So okay, but there is another tool which is my most favorite tool for this static port forwarding or local port forwarding or whatever you can say. That is Socat. So Socat is the most powerful tool you can own, you can have. So its syntax is very simple, and some people have like problems with understanding the syntax, but if you think of it logically, it makes perfect sense to have this syntax. In fact, Socat required this syntax to unleash its full powers. So what if we are going to say that it is the most shortest form, that is TCPL, which stands for TCP listening, and we will be listening on port 1337, and we need to reuse this ADDR, reduce the address and port, and then we mention the most important command, fork. That means make to redirect all the traffic coming to this network to TCP and sent to 17.0.2.1337 to this network. So let's change that to 6000. So oh, there is a typo. That means I made a spelling error. So that means address already in use. So we have to remove our SSH connection. Then maybe we can work. So maybe it has started, because it does not show any output. So if I connect to 192.68.51.41 and on the port 6000, and I receive this message, that is because of the wonders of Socat. So let's say netstat dot tuplin. So netstand, not stand, stat, nestat. Okay, netstat. So okay, so here we can perfectly see that our IP has a interface. So if I run Socat, then use netstat tuplin. So here we can see we are listening on the port 6000, So that is how local port forwarding work, and this is how our pivoting is actually in reality. And in the next video we shall cover the dynamic port forwarding, the SOX proxy, and the later stages of a hacker, and skills to become a master penetration tester. And until then, have fun, stay safe, stay happy, and bye bye.